Welcome to page 4. We're going to practice writing expressions in 3 different forms: expanded form, factor form, and standard form. The key is remembering the difference between the 3 forms. Make a small chart at the top of your page labeled expanded form, factor form, and standard form. And we can put some examples under each of these. Remember, expanded form is written like this: x plus 4, that quantity, and let's add it to the same thing, x plus 4. We're taking that quantity twice. As we move across the chart to factor form, we're going to write that as a multiplication problem. 2 times the quantity x plus 4, and put a 1 in front of that x. And finally, as we move to the final column, the third way to write expressions, we're going to distribute this 2 to each term and double each term, or multiply each by 2. 2 times 1 is 2x, and 2 times 4 is a gain of 8. So make sure you pay attention to which form you're being asked to write the final answer in. And then remember, we also can move backwards through the chart as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's start with number 1. This section says, write the following in standard form. So it wants us to represent the answer in standard form. As you look at number 1, clearly it's expanded. We're going to group together the x plus r. There are 4 x plus r quantities. So in the work area, let's write that expanded form. Let's move to factor form first. 4 times the quantity, 1x plus 1r. Now that's factor form. We're going to take it to the final stage by multiplying each term by 4 and getting it into standard form. 4 times 1 makes 4x, plus 4 times r makes 4r. We went from expanded to factor to standard form. Let's try another. Take a look at number 4. In number 4, we have the quantity negative x plus 4 written twice. So in factor form, taking it from expanded to factor form, we're going to write 2 times the quantity, negative 1x plus 4. Now that's the second column, factor form. In order to move it into standard form, we're going to multiply each of these terms by 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2x, and we're going to double the second term. 2 times positive 4 is positive 8. My answer is in standard form. We started in expanded, went to factor, and arrived at standard form. Now let's take a look at the next section. In this section, it says, write the following in standard form. Well, again, we're going to the third column, standard form. But if you look at number 5, it's not expanded. It is in column 2, factor form. And we just need to move to the right and take it to standard form. So in the work area, write 4 times the quantity 1x minus 3. Make sure you draw your arrows to indicate that you're multiplying using the distributive property. You're going to quadruple each term, or multiply by 4. 4 times 1 is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12, or minus 12. It's just a simple move from factor form into standard form. You're going to complete the other problems on your own. So far, we've moved from the left to the right side of the chart. But what about when we start in standard form and go backwards? Let's take a look at the last section. It gives you an expression in standard form, but you have to move backwards and put it into factor form. Let's take a look at the last section. We're starting in standard form in number 8, and we're asked to go backwards to factor form. Let me remind you how that is done. We take the expression 3x plus 9 and we write it in the work area. And we're going to factor out or divide out a common factor for 3 and 9. We know we can divide a 3 into each term. 3 divided by 3 gives us 1x, plus 3 divided into 9 gives us 3. We need to write this as a multiplication problem, or in other words, factor form. 3 is one of our factors, and then our other factor is the quantity x plus 3. So on the line, you will write 3 times the quantity x plus 3. Feel free to put a 1 in front of the x. In number 12, we're given the expression negative 8y minus 20. Write that in the work area. We need to factor out a common factor. If I look at 8 and 20, I know I can divide a 4 out of each of those. 4 divided into negative 8 gives me negative 2y. 4 into 20 gives me minus 5. My first factor is 4, and my second factor is negative 2y minus 5. So we write this on the line, 4 times the quantity, negative 2y minus 5. This is factor form. And the last one together, number 13. Number 13, we write the expression in the work area, negative 14 minus 21d. And we put that under the division house. We look for a common factor to be divided out of 14 and 21. We see it's the number 7. So 7 into negative 14 gives us negative 2 minus 7 into 21 minus 3d. This is our first factor. This is our second factor. Write it on the line that you've been given. 7 times the quantity, negative 2 minus 3d. Cross off 14 and 15. Those are challenge questions. Complete the rest of the questions on this page on your own. When you're done, you can check your work with the answer key. This concludes page 4.